Ernest, I'll let you assess it first.
You know, for me, I mean, we came out and we did what we were supposed to do in that first half. I mean, we wanted to come out, start fast, because like I told our guys, if we come out and we play like we're supposed to in the right mental frame of mind, we should have done to this team what we did in the first half. And then we talked in the halftime about coming out playing discipline, you know, and not giving it away, you know, type of things, and not giving them points. And so, you know, looking at second half and, you know, 27 points on the board, we gave it to them. Plus, we took one back from us that we had on the pick six. You know, so it was really a game for us that we can take the first half and look at it and say, this is how we got to come out and play. This is what we need to do, and we can teach off the second half big time. Because, like I said, it was nothing more than undisciplined football in the second half. You know, from most of it, I can't say all of them, but most of them were first from young players and things like that. But you know, it's funny because I didn't really think about it like this until I saw Coach Glenn after the game, because he knows. He could see the look on my face, and he said, Coach, 42-0 at halftime, you did what you were supposed to do and you cleared the bench. He said, good job. And so then I had to refocus my mindset on, you know, well, Coach is right. You did what you needed to do in the first half, and you come out and you get some young guys some plays in the second half. Now you can teach them in a real game experience. You're not teaching them off of film that you're going against each other. So it was a good game for us. Like I said, we came out, we got a chance to see some things, and then we got to get ready and start all over tomorrow and get ready for Abilene Christian.
I know how you go about it, but technically 42-0 at halftime. That was a true picture of the difference between the two teams in terms of talent, speed, execution, everything. And, you know, I mean, 42 points. Crying out loud, you had 28 before, you know, everybody sit down and got comfortable. So, you know, and that I'm sure should, I don't know about you, but it should relax you a little bit at that point. I know, were you thinking even early, you know, we still got to keep the pedal to the metal?
No question.
And get this thing really on a steam rolling?
I mean, we're at a point now, I mean, because, well, I don't forget, but just a few years ago,
No.
we had a couple teams coming here and it wasn't so cute on the other side of that picture. So, you know, for me, I told you guys, we're going to keep going, and we got to keep at it. And, you know, when you get 42-0, now you can go in, and I was okay with not playing nip in the second half. I didn't have any problem with that. Because you got to get your back up some work and things like that. And so, yeah, but you got to go out and you got to finish it. You know, you got to go out and finish it. And we did that in the first half. We did not let up, and we didn't get up 28-0 in the first quarter and then start, you know, relaxing a little bit. We kept going with it. And so, like I said, for me, being the head coach and it just being in my system, I don't even want to see our backups give it up. You know, I don't want to see the undisciplined football, the late hits or the penalties or this, that, and the other. And so, you know, that's for me. But like I said, you know, you got old Joe Glenn. He real quick pointed it out to me because I didn't even say anything. He just saw it on my face, you know. And so it was good to have that wisdom right there, man, and think about it. And, hey, you got one in the books, a win's a win, and you can teach off of it and go from there.
You know, like you said, and like you explained it, you know, you did what you were supposed to. I mean, you did fair to say what you expected to do too. I mean, you didn't have a lot to go off because they didn't send film, yada yada yada.
Right.
But what you expected your kids, how you expect them to execute?
Yeah, I mean, when you just look at the film and where our guys are now. Like I said, if we come out with the mental attitude that we should have, and I said this to them before the game, I said we should dominate this game. But if we don't and we allow them because we're going to play down to the level, then they can get momentum and get going. So it was good to see our guys come out and finish drives and finish plays and get the turnovers and things like that. And I was proud of them in that sense. And you know, it's like I said, you got to enjoy them when you get them because they're hard to come by sometimes. But I think we're at a point now where our kids should get better and better every week and understand that we can play and compete with anybody.
Hypothetically, would you rather face a tougher opponent? I'm not reaming on them, but a team that matches up a little bit better with you to start with?
You know what? I'll take a page out of it, and everybody used to give Coach Snyder a hard time at K-State when he first started doing it. And, you know, the best way to get your team better is to get them some momentum early, you know, and you get this game under your belt, you get your kids feeling good about themselves and get them understanding what they're capable of. And then you go into the next game, and now you got a like opponent. You know, but now you got a game under your belt. You got a like opponent with a game under your belt, and you can go into that game and see where you are against that, and then you come back the next week, and now you go up. and then you start conference. So it was a good test for us just to see what kind of team we could be.
Taken from what you're saying and how this team is matured and is where they're at right now, even before today's game, and where you envision what their capabilities are, do you feel like you're going to need that exact same start, that exact same mental approach going into next week against obviously a completely different opponent?
No question.
One that's one where the playing table's a lot more level.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, you have to every week. If you don't have that mentality every week, and Nip, like I was teasing Nip walking out the door because he's got the cliches down, and he knows how to, Jacob Nip, he knows how to answer questions without getting himself in a bind. He's a polished kid. But it is, every week you have to go into it. You literally have to go into that game, and you have to get off. You got to try to get off to a fast start. You game plan it. You know what you can do. John, he said it 2 or 3 times. I can tell he was nervous about the first place. The coach, if they give this to us, we're gonna do this, and if they give this, we're gonna do this. And he was nervous about it, so he kept talking about it. Then they gave us what we thought we were gonna get, and he was able to get a shot play on him. So every week, I don't care if it's Rocky Mountain or it's Abilene Christian, NAU, CSU, it doesn't matter. You have to come out with the mindset that you are ready to go, and you got to come out swinging.
I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here, and then after next week, it gets tough. It gets tougher as you go. And of course, Big Sky Conference has a little more meaning than anything. But you have to come back and then go over to CSU, and despite what they do next week, that's a team that is trying to wash the stink off it right now. And then getting into these non-conference games early in the season, is it 17 next year that you play at Boulder?
Yep.
And I understand Florida's on the schedule now too for that year, for next year. That's a big task. I don't give a damn how good the team is. I mean, it's nice, and you're smiling at me as you're saying this, but that's asking a lot of anybody.
Yeah, no question.
And I don't know how far those two games are apart from each other. Are they back to back or no?
Mm-hmm.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah. That's even tougher, bud. So is it like second, third week of the season?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have the first week next year?
Was it Idaho? Yeah.
The College of Idaho coming here?
Similar, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the IU team?
Similar.
Okay, and then you go take on 2 Giants.
Yep.
And I'm assuming, I don't know, Kobe, find some numbers for me, will you? They're big paydays, which help in the long run, are supposed to help, whatever, but Ernest, that's it. I know it's normal, but man, how the heck does Florida come on there? How'd that work?
Hey, you schedule sometimes, and it happens, and you keep it moving. I mean, it's college football. I mean, yeah, they got 85, we got 63. It's power conference, that and the other, but we're going to look at it in a sense. We're going to take as many as we can take, and we're going to go after it just like we would anybody else. I mean, I start to feel like our guys, just like Appalachian goes in to play Tennessee, number 9 in the country.
That was this weekend?
Yes, and Appalachian State is beating them 13-3 or something like that, and then they go into overtime, and Tennessee ends up getting the ball game. And our kids are starting to believe that they should be in the upper echelon. And so for us to do that, we have to do what we have to do this year and get ready for next year when next year's time comes. But, we ain't going to back down from any of it, and what they bring on, we're going to take it, and we're going to go from there.
Sometimes it only takes one good drive early or
No question.
Or an interception, and then like you said, and then people literally start playing above the level they're capable of because of the mental part of it. And sometimes that's hard to let go over another team to regain once that snowball starts.
And our guys, man, it's our 2014 class is taking over this football team, basically. And they have raised the play of guys above them, right? Our sophomores, our redshirt sophomores this year. They have made guys raise their level of play from underneath them and above them. And that's the great thing about it is you can see those guys. You can see the Jacob Nips of the world and the Treys of the world and Alex Wesley's of the world and your Kiefer Morris's and all those guys intertwining there together. They're making plays and they're doing great things for us. And like I said, they're making those guys raise their level of play. So they'll be a year older, and we'll tackle that mountain when it happens.
Unsung hero in a sense. Kiefer Cloud had a hell of a day. he punted the ball well. I know he got one or two really good rolls, but that's all part of it. That's a huge plus too, because it wasn't that long ago that special teams were a mess. And I think, you've got two of the best return guys, which helped that. But neither one of those were much of a factor today on returns.
And, to be honest with you, that's what we're expecting all year. We're not expecting people to kick the ball to us, and so if we can start the ball at the 35-yard line, 40-yard line every time, okay, so be it. We got short field. Kiefer Glau, he's a kid, man. He's got as much heart as anybody you want to know, and the kid believes. Like, Kiefer's going to play for us at safety. He played some today for us. He had a big key third down stop for us, come down knocking the ball down. Kiefer's not scared of anything, and so he's. I'm not going to say he's yet that Dirk Johnson, but he has that mentality. He has the mentality of Dirk. Coach, I'm a safety that's punting the ball. Don't put me as a punter. I'm a safety that's punting the ball. And the kid's going to play a lot for us on defense this year. He's going to play a lot for us on special teams outside of punting the football. So it's good to have an athlete back there punting the ball, because you can do some things with him.
Jacob talked about when they scored a couple times in the second half that he was itching to go back in. It would have had to get a hell of a lot closer if you even think about it.
Oh, yeah, big time. That's Jacob's personality, though. I'm pretty sure when John told him he wasn't going back in after halftime, he was pissed. He's the one that comes to the sideline when it's 4th down and 1 on the 40-yard line, and I'm getting ready to punt the ball because I call a timeout, and he comes beeline straight to me. Coach, we had to go. We wasn't punting the freaking ball today. Let's go for it. I'm like, all right, Jacob, let's go. But you want your kids. You want them to have that mentality. You want them to want to reach goals that they have, whether they made the goals or we made them for them. You want them to come in and strive. And so for me, it was an opportunity for me to let them go out and prove what they could do, against an opponent that, you should go out and get this first down, and let's go see what we can do.
You have any scholarships Rocky Mountain deals with?
I don't.
I know their enrollment's under 1,000. So, for them to come in here and have some things to show they work on it, that's a nice showing.
Well, you can tell Jason Petrino they're a different football team than they were last year. You can tell that, from the little snippet that we got to see on them from the first game, and he'll be good. He's come from pedigree. He won a championship. He was with Joe, so he knows what he's doing. He'll have them going. They'll be pretty good in that conference this year.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right.